Good morning, children. Welcome to sociology class. Today we are going to begin with a new chapter, culture. Let us understand the meaning of culture in sociology. In sociology, culture is used in a specific sense, which is different from the one we have in common parlance. People often call an educated man a cultured man and regard that man as uncultured who is lacking in education. But in sociology, we use the word to denote acquired behaviors which are shared by and transmitted among the members of the society. We see that culture is all around us. It is so much a part of our everyday life, of our personality, that we tend to take it for granted. It is only when we come across someone who is quite different from us, maybe someone is more sophisticated or less sophisticated than us, or someone who speaks, thinks, dresses or behaves differently from us, we realize that something considerably more than human culture is responsible for the differences between us. So culture differs from society to society. Culture has been defined in a number of ways. Some thinkers include in culture all the major social components that bind men together in a society. Others take a narrow view and include in culture only the non-material parts. So let us discuss some of the definitions of culture. The first one given by Tyler is, culture is that complex whole which includes knowledge, belief, art, morals, law, custom, and any other capabilities acquired by man as a member of a society. Then second definition given by Lapierre, culture is the embodiment in customs, traditions, etc. of the learning of a social group over the generation. Next, given by McIver, culture is the expression of our nature in our modes of living and our thinking, intercourse, in our literature, in religion, in recreation and enjoyment. And let us discuss one more given by H.T. Mazumdar. Culture is the sum total of human achievements, material as well as non-material, capable of transmission sociologically, that is, by tradition and communication, vertically as well as horizontally. So here we have discussed the definitions given by Tyler, by Lapierre, McIver and H.T. Mazumdar. Now we are going to discuss some of the characteristics of culture. The first characteristic is, culture is learned. The sum total of all learned behavior patterns is called culture. Unlike racial and physical features, culture is not inherited through genes or through our parents. The individual learns the culture of the family and group in which he is born. For example, one of the twin sisters is brought up in America and the other in India. will have distinct differences in their behaviors because of the two different cultures. Second characteristic is culture is transferable. Culture cannot only be learned, it can be transferred from one to another and from generation to generation. Man has language and symbols through which he communicates with others and transfers his culture from one generation to the other. For example, if one generation invents the computer, the next generation does not have to invent it all over again. New generation will have the knowledge from the previous generation and will invent better means of information exchange based on the previous knowledge. Then third characteristic is each society has its own culture. Each society has its own specific culture because of geographical and social conditions also vary from society to society. Culture is the result of social inventions which are made for human needs. These social needs are different in different societies. That is why the form of culture is different in each society. So it differs from society to society. Then fourth is culture has social qualities. Culture is social in nature. How? Culture is social in the sense that it does not belong to a few individuals. Its scope is vast and social. It represents the complete social lifestyle of a society. So it does not belong to few individuals, but it belongs to the whole society. Culture is next. This is the next characteristic. Culture is the norm for the group. It means that culture is considered the norm in a group, means as a rule in a group that is to be followed by everyone. Culture is the norm because it is adopted by the entire group. Those who conform are respected and those who do not conform are condemned in society. So it is a norm of the group. Next characteristic is culture has the quality of adaptation. The adaptive quality of culture has two aspects. One, culture is not inanimate or non-living or stagnant, but it is dynamic, means always changes occur in the existing culture. And secondly, because of its changing nature, it keeps adapting to external forces, especially to the geographical environment. So it has the quality of adaptation. Next is culture has balance and organization. Culture has many parts and units, but they are not accidental and haphazard. They pre-interrelated and interdependent. Each unit, as we have seen that culture has many parts and many units, so each unit has a definite place and function in the frame. Thus, there is harmonious balance and organization in culture because there is harmonious balance and between different units of culture. Change in any one part has effect on other parts as well because they all are interconnected. Next feature is culture is super individual and super organic. Culture is super individual in the sense that it is not dependent on any particular person or his behavior, but it is the sum total of all behavior patterns in a society. So we say that it is super individual. Second thing is super organic. Culture is super organic in the sense that culture defines, controls and directs human life. The individual cannot remain untouched by its influence or by the influence of his culture. He has to move with the current of culture. So culture is super organic in another sense also, because it is not the outcome of only organic phenomena. Had that been so, then all animals would have their cultures as well. So we say that it is super organic. Next characteristic is culture accumulates. Culture keeps gathering new elements because it is not static in nature, so it keeps gathering new elements and absorbs them because of the absorbing nature. Culture evolves and spreads rapidly. For instance, the material and non-material culture, which has some utility for the group, spreads to other groups and societies as well. Nowadays there is so much intermixing of different cultural groups that they keep absorbing new elements from each other. Next and the last characteristic of culture is it is total way of life of a person. Culture is total expression of the way people lead their life. The spoken language, the customs that are followed by the people, the gods one believes in, the religious ceremonies, values and norms, the style of dressing, art and literature, etc. are all common to people who are the members of the same cultural group. So now I repeat all the characteristics of culture that we have discussed. The first one is culture is learned. It is not acquired behavior, but it is learned. Then culture is transferable from one generation to another. Each society has its own culture, so the societies are different. Culture has social qualities. It does not belong to an individual but to the whole society. Then culture is a norm for the group, means everyone has to follow his or her own culture. Next, culture has the quality of adaptation. Next, culture has balance and organization, though it has many units, but each unit has a balance. Culture is super individual and super organic. I have explained how. And then culture accumulates, means the other cultural traits are also absorbed in the existing culture. And then lastly, culture is the total way of life of a person. So we have seen all these characteristics. Now children, there are some standards of culture like values, norms, customs, folkways, modes, etc. So we'll discuss all these standards of culture in the next video.